Oh, now I'm live. Thank you for tuning in to the See Through It podcast. I don't know what just happened, but it was not allowing me to start the episode. But I am your host, Brian Sales. Thank you for tuning in. This is the last day of 2019. What a year it has been. Just sitting here thinking about it, going into 2020. It's been some crazy ups, it's crazy downs, but we are moving on to a new year. So again, thank you for um, sharing some of your time with me for tonight. Let's go ahead and jump into our promo stuff. I gotta push that promo stuff. As you see there, you can follow me on SeeThroughIt_podcast on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. Give the group page not the group page, but the business page, the podcast page, a like, a share, join the conversation there. Also, you can also contact me through seethroughitpodcast@gmail.com. If you would like to purchase any items that I might have, coffee mugs or hoodies or shirts, here's a mug that I recently did featuring the Warriors collection. On the back side, it says Calm, Empty Mag, Storm, Sight Picture. Some of you might understand what that means. So if you would like to purchase something like that, I have PayPal. I accept PayPal. So if you would like to donate, I go through PayPal. So paypal.me/seethroughit. I would greatly appreciate that. There's those things again. Here we go. And also, if you're watching through Periscope or YouTube or Facebook, please give the video, the episode, a like, a thumbs up. If you're on Periscope, hit those hearts, those emojis. If I say something that angers you, throw out the angry emoji or whatever, again, I say join the conversation. So that's your way of joining the conversation. Throw those emojis at me if I'm doing something right or if I'm saying something wrong. Twitter, YouTube, if you're in the YouTube chat room, that's where it's at. A lot of conversations there. So, hey, everyone that's watching, thank you for tuning in. Today's episode is about a better me for 2020. A better me. Not a new me, but a better me for 2020. Usually we all come up with the New Year's resolution, and the first thing is I'm going to be a new person. I'm gonna do things. I'm gonna be a new person. And I know for me that's hard to do. It's hard to say you're gonna be a new person when the noise outside of you, the noise that you don't control, is always quickly wanting to pull you back to where you were, the old you. You're trying to create a new you. They're trying to pull you back, saying, "No, that's not what you used to do." Or they like to bring up moments where you were not at your best. And it's hard to recreate or create a new you because people will always remember the old you. So I've came up with just improving or being a better me, improving myself, looking at myself in the mirror and having that serious conversation. What have I lacked and what should I be doing more of? Am I a good husband? Am I a good father? Am I doing everything that is required of me by God, by in my marriage, by being a dad? Am I doing all those things? And if again, I'm talking about me, because I can't answer for you guys. But if I can come up with the correct answer, and if I can look at myself in the mirror and say, yes, I'm doing everything I can do, I might be lacking in this, then I'd be like, okay, let's work on that. I can pick and highlight things that I need to work on. It's much easier to see where you're coming short and work on that thing. It's much harder, I believe, to be like, you know what, 2020 is around the corner. January 1st, it's a new me. As soon as it hits, that ball hits the bottom and 2020 is right there, I'm a new me. I find that very hard to do. I find that because, again, You don't control the outside noise. There's always going to be people that's going to look at you and be like, that's not what you used to do. Or they're always going to bring up your past. Labels are going to be hard to remove. People are going to label you with, because of your past actions. They're going to label you. So my suggestion is to look at yourself in the mirror, have that conversation with yourself. Where am I lacking? Where can I improve at? What more can I do to be a better person in every aspect of life? What more can I do? And when you find those things, when you find those answers, when you have that real conversation, then you can recreate yourself. But if you're not honest with yourself, how can you create a new you? How can you create a new you? So I figured that is one of the most things I believe people should start doing, instead of like just jumping off the cliff and being like, I'm gonna recreate I'm gonna do a new me, and then as soon as that day one things start getting rough and rocky, and everyone's pulling them down, that resolution's already shot. They had no chance, because at first they don't even know where they was already lacking in. They don't even know what they were already lacking in. Number two, another thing, stop chasing material things. I used to want so many things, and like, well, if I had this, I'd be I'd be a better person. If I had this much money, or if I had this job, or if I had this title. That's never the case. You'll still be that horrible person with that title, with that money, with whatever thing you're trying to get to. And on top of that, you'll never keep up. It's hard to keep up with how they're keeping things. As soon as they drop one thing, they're making the next. They're making the next best thing. They're making the next best thing. So you're constantly trying to keep up. I've told myself to be happy with what I have. Look at everything that's around me and the people that don't have. Be happy with what I have. More like content, but not in the content where you're just settling for the worst, but just enjoy what you do have. Don't get caught up in the material race of everyone is, look at what I have, look what I'm doing. Don't get caught up in that. My whole goal this year for the 2020 is just to be a better person overall. Not to get caught up in things that I can't control, or get caught up in looking at what this person has, or looking at what this person is doing. Just doing my best. Taking care of my responsibilities. Those are my goals, and what I want to. That's what I want to do in 2020, and I hope more people will do the same thing. Because how the world is going right now is just evil, and no one is taking the time to look at themselves. It's an angry world right now, and very angry words. And there's a couple words that I said I'm gonna hold myself to. I want to be more responsible. Not saying I haven't been responsible, but I want to make sure I'm responsible for myself. And everything that I do, I want to be responsible for. Be more resilient. Some days where I struggle. Some days are tougher than others. I was watching Bama Bell's show. Was it Tuesday? And she was talking about how sometimes you're doing a show and you wonder, well, is anyone even going to watch? Is anyone even going to call? You have those struggles, and I want to be more resilient. When I have those struggles, I want to be like, you know what? This is what I'm committed to. I'm responsible for this podcast. I'm going to put out an episode, despite what I may be feeling or what I may be thinking. I'm going to put out an episode. So I want to try to be more, not try. I want to be more resilient. Be more accountable. And the last one is I want to love like God. Since 2016, towards the end of 2016, was going through a divorce and looking at my my transgression, my errors, my flaws in that marriage, and how I was. I said I wanted to love more like God. Spent a lot of time reading Corinthians and reading the Bible in generally. But I wanted to love more like God. I was tired of being angry all the time, being hateful, being very revenge. I was, if I felt like someone did me wrong or said something the wrong way or any of those things, I was ready. It was, oh, I'm gonna get you back. It was, I'm gonna get you back, and that was so toxic. It was contaminating every aspect of my life. Um, it was very bad. So I been seeking to love more like God every day of my life. I don't want to hold on to any anger, any hatred, or anything. I don't want to preach or push hatred or violence onto any people or onto any topic or anything. I want to love more like God. I want to, and with that, I believe that will show people by example. You have to lead by example, and if you can do that, then you'll turn more people away from what they're doing to what you're doing just by that. And I believe that. I believe that if you can show more compassion and be more genuine and because there's enough hate in the world already. People gravitate to that easily. They're looking for something else, but no one's showing them that. Every now and then you get that person. Happy New Year's, Johnny. Every now and then you get that person that's talking positive, but if you scroll down the timeline or if you're on Facebook or whatever, you'll see them easily talking about hatred, pushing hatred on something. Or I don't want to be that. I want to be consistent in everything that I'm doing. And so this for 2020, I want to continue on that path of loving like God loves us, showing us eternal, forever love, being forever merciful and faithful to us, and that's what I want to do. I want to do that in every aspect of my life, and yeah, 2020. I'm hoping great things. I want to personally grow. I don't really. I care about my podcast and I care about certain things, but I feel like it's more important for me to grow as a person. I want to lead by example. I want to be the role model for my kids, a good husband to my wife, and good brother, and good son, a good person in society. Those are my goals and wishes for the upcoming years. So those are my goals for the upcoming years. So I hope you guys are doing the same thing, or wanting the same thing. And if not, that's fine. Everyone has their own agenda. So my goals for this year, I think I've already went over some of my personal goals, but like overall goals for 2020, I've thought about it and I've been going back and forth with goals for this year, but I guess I'm content. Not not content where I'm just gonna be, okay. I got the podcast. I'm doing this, and every now and then I'll do an episode, or, um, you know. But I don't want to say I don't even know the correct words to use for this, but I want to push my podcast even more. I want it to grow, but I'm not gonna be saddened if it doesn't do if it doesn't go a million views or something like that. But I want it to grow. I want the people that are listening to, if they don't pick up anything, maybe pick up one or two things that I'm saying. Whenever I do these community self awareness or do these little episodes, I hope they look at me and see, all right, I like that. I can follow what he's saying. If 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 that can happen, then I'm satisfied. I'm greatly satisfied just for that. I guess just to be a light in this dark world, just to be some type of light in this dark world. Those are one of my goals. And if the podcast takes off and it's a big hit, that's fantastic too. But just to be another person putting out a positive message out into the world where the world is constantly contaminated with nonsense and hatred and how you doing, Gumby? And hatred and all this other nonsense. I just want to be a light of beacon where at least if only one person looks at these episodes and be like, you know what, I agree, or I appreciate what he's doing, or whatever the small token is, whatever it is, I if it goes to change someone's heart on how they think or perceive life, that's fantastic. Um, but I'm not going to say I don't want the podcast to grow or to take off or anything like that. But if it doesn't, and if all I have is that small core group where they've all changed the way they thought about things or the way they see things, that's fantastic to me. That's a plus. And because we need more people to put out more positive energy out there, because the world is contaminated. The world is contaminated with nonsense, and I just want to be that light of that beacon of light in this dark, dark, dark world. So those are my goals for 2020. Those are my goals. Just being a better person, having that honest conversation with myself, looking myself in the mirror, and saying, "Hey, are you doing what you're supposed to do?" Like I said, 2016 was very dark, and I had to have that conversation with myself. And a lot of people need to have that conversation with themselves. Am I doing everything I need to do? Am I pushing hate? Do I love? Like I said, 2016 was tough, and it was eye opening. I was a very toxic father, husband. Well, I got divorced. 2016 was bad, and I had to going in 2017. I looked myself in the mirror and was like, "It's now or later. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna?" Because like I said, I stood up and said, "I'm gonna be a new me." Well, I didn't know how to start a new me. I didn't know how to start a new me. I had to look. I had to have that serious conversation. I had to have that serious conversation and be like, "Here are all your flaws. Boom, boom, boom. What are you gonna do?" So I had to better myself. I had to start fixing each and every one of them. And of course, you're gonna get those people that's gonna be like, "No, you still doing that," or they're gonna like to bring up your past. People are gonna love to bring up your past, but you have to be resilient. You have to know that's not your past is not your future. That what your past has already been written, but you can write the rest of your future. And I'm determined to never go backwards, to continue to go forward. We all have passes, but what we do in our future is more important. What we do with the knowledge that we have. I love the one saying I used to tell my guys when I was at Fort Benning, if you know better, you'll do better. And it's very true. I mean, if you know better, you'll do better. So I've been living by that. Been living by that. Been living by the fact that when I say I want to love like God, I've been holding myself to that level of life, or to that level of standard, since 2017, 16. So looking at some of these chats. Hi everyone. Thank you, Papa. Hope you're doing better, Johnny. Hello, Kasi and Bamabo. Yeah, so let me see. Let me see if there's anything in highlight some of these chats Bear with me and highlight some of these chats in here. Absolutely, absolutely. So this, and again, I was thinking about it today. I was like, this is not a religious podcast, but like I said, my morals and my values are. I'm entrenched in those, and that's a part of me. And I wouldn't say that I'm living like I'm supposed to, but I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. I'm doing my best to get to where I'm supposed to be. So, um, uh, hello, Chris, Toff. I again, thank you, Venerable. I'm trying to lead by example. If we can get some people just to change the narrative, just watch, be more responsible in what they're saying and doing. It could change the world. It can change a small community or whatever. Can do a lot. While everyone is filtering in, um, I guess you can go back and see the rest of the episode. But it wasn't an extra long. It was just talking about me being a better me, doing things the right way, being more responsible, being accountable, being more resilient for this year. Again, I have a lot of issues. Everyone has issues. I have a lot of issues. I'm still working through them. Um, um, but I'm working through them, and that's the part of being resilient. I'm not gonna let them keep me down, but keep on chugging along, keep on chugging along. But I want to give some thank yous. I want to give some thank yous to everyone that's been coming to, but checking into the episodes, watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I greatly appreciate that. Like I said before, sometimes when you're starting up you're starting up something like this, and you're about to be speaking to people that do not know you, and you're like, well, are they gonna accept what I'm saying? Are they even gonna listen? It's nerve wracking. It's very nerve wracking. So I greatly appreciate you guys coming in and watching and joining in the conversation. I guess I met a lot of y'all. Not met, but I've interacted with a lot of you guys through Bama Bo, and she has been a great friend and a great help in all of this. I greatly appreciate her. I appreciate everyone that I've interviewed through 2019. I'm gonna go ahead and throw out some names: Kente Lark from South Bend, Eli Cantu from South Bend, Mark Skoll Jr. from South Bend WNDU TV news station. He's the sports anchor on that show. Who else? Bama Bo. You guys already know that. Bama Bo from Alabama. Kevin O'Connell from California. He works for Fox Sports News in California. Met him. Who else? Am I missing anyone else? I think that's it. Oh, Seth. Seth from South Bend, a motorcycle group, Hood Rats, biking. I think I said that right. If I didn't say that right, I apologize. But Seth, I appreciate you for coming on. The people in Marshall County for the it's slipping my mind. Oh, I'm going blank. I knew I should have wrote it down. Oh my gosh, I'm going blank. But there's a group out in Marshall County. Again, I appreciate you, Don Buford. He set up the interview. I appreciate you for setting that up. Many people that I've met on the way of doing this show, I greatly appreciate you, all you guys, for even allowing me to pick your brain on whatever topic we was talking about, taking a chance and letting me interview you. I greatly appreciate that. People donated to the show or purchased items. Cassie, Bama Bo's mom, thank you. She is a great mother, sweetheart. She is awesome. Papa, again, thank you for your support. Thank you for your chats that you send me randomly when we're on Twitter. Uh, Serenity, Mallory. Who else? I've interacted with so many. Toph, uh, Rich. I felt when Rich Rich sent me a message, and I felt very important when Rich sent me a message. He sent me a message and he gave me his number, and we had a conversation over the phone. So I felt very important when Rich reached out to me and we had a conversation. Um, Bama Bo again. Let me see. Oh, and most importantly, I mean, my wife, allowing me to take up a whole nother room, turn it into my podcast man cave slash office type deal thingy thing. I greatly appreciate her for, uh, being a support system and uh, watching these episodes and giving me a little feedback. If she says she's still waiting for the passion to spew through the microphone and through the camera. I guess as time goes, that the passion will start flowing. But I greatly appreciate her, uh, my mom and dad, my dad for helping me with some of the equipment. Um, yeah, and anyone else that I've missed, I'm sorry, but I greatly appreciate you. I'm pretty sure I've said that before, but I'll say it again. I appreciate you. If I missed you, send me a message, yell at me or whatever. I appreciate you for whatever you have done, even if it's a couple of words of encouragement. Oh, Sally West, I forgot. On Twitter, she sent me a message. Sandra, so many people. I can't go through all the names, but so many people. I greatly appreciate you. Lewis from Niles, Michigan, for doing the episode with me. Um, yeah, so 2019 has been a year filled with ups and downs and a lot of craziness, and I declare that 2020 will be much better. Mentally, I want to be mentally stronger and emotionally more stable and again a better me. Um, yeah, I want to be a better me, and because 2020 is coming, and we all know the environment, the atmosphere of what's going on in this country. So don't get caught up in the nonsense. Don't get caught up in the hate. Don't get caught up in the eye for the eye. Um, keep doing the things that you're doing that's positive. Don't focus on what everyone else is doing. Don't get caught up in the rat race. Keep doing what you're doing that is positive. Continue to grow. Because everything else is out of our hands. All we can do is continue to lead by example. Continue to love. Continue to be kind. Continue to help when people want to be helped. That's all we can do. As you see on the timer at the bottom of the screen, we have a timer. It's 4 hours and 30 minutes from the beginning of the new year. I just went through my thank yous. I just told you guys about how I want to be a better me. Yeah, so 2020 is around the corner. January is supposed to be Martin Luther King's birthday, and I said I want to do some speeches. So if you guys, maybe, I don't know, but I'm just putting it out there. If you want to hear a certain speech, I'm doing the Martin Luther King speeches because I found out that in my son's school, they don't really talk about Martin Luther King. They don't really talk about history at all. I don't know what they really are covering in school, but I figured I would do some speeches just to do some. So if there's a speech that you would like to hear from Martin Luther King or whatever, let me know. I had to do a couple of these in my public speaking class in college, so I think that's why I'm doing them. But I enjoyed reading them when I was doing the research over some of those speeches. So um, let me know. You can contact me through here. Let me get to that real quick. No problem, Mr. Chris. I hope all you guys are will have a great have a great 2020. Have a great night. Be safe tonight. Contact me through SeeThroughIt podcast at Gmail if you would like to point out a different speech. Papa, I have not forgotten about your episode. I'm gonna contact you on that. I feel like I'm not equipped or qualified enough to get in the depths. Papa is if you have not talked to him, he is a very deep guy and genuine. I've never met him, but I love interacting with him, having the conversations that we've had. He's a very good guy, very good guy. But anyway, I wrote down something. Remember, you are responsible for your actions, which will give you more power over your outcome. Don't allow people to take the power away from you. Don't let them steal your happiness. Don't let them steal your joy. Don't let them take you. Do not let them take you in 2020. Continue to do what you're doing. Continue to move. Continue to keep going up. Continue to keep going up. So that is the show, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. I will see you guys. I should probably do one on Friday. I will think about doing one on Friday and maybe just switch it to next Friday. I got a lot going on. But thank you for tuning in. Again, thank you. I greatly appreciate you all you guys for tuning in. Continue to share, join the conversation. If you have family, friends that have not seen the podcast, show them this. Share it. Starting next year, well, I guess that'll be season 3. But season 3, I have podcasts like Stitcher and all that already set up. All this stuff will be on audio if you don't like watching video, but that'll be season 3 where I'll get into that a little bit later. But again, don't be blinded by the media. Hashtag See Through It. This is the See Through It podcast. I'm your host, Brian Sells. Again, thank you. Have a blessed night. Be safe. 2019 is almost gone. 2020 is here. Be blessed. Have a good night, y'all. Peace.